Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pillars of Eternity Let's Play. We're entering the North Ward. I only warn you once. After that, it's your skin. Of course, I'm not really sure how we, get into the North. Oh, no, it's this one. Because we got the key to it, didn't we? Right. Unlock with North Ward key. Right. In we go. Is this my face? Tell me. Okay. Graham. This man has a look in his eyes of a hunted animal, and at your approach, he staggers backward to the far corner of his cell, halfway appearing as though he would climb the walls if it would get him farther away from you. He cries out, a bizarre primal utterance like nothing you have heard. I need to ask you some questions. Graham looks at you blankly. It is unclear whether he understands you or not, but his panic has momentarily subsided. He opens his mouth to speak, but the words that come out are half-formed, as though his tongue were cut out. They are impossible for you to discern, if indeed they are words at all. Kinda winces. I don't think he can speak anymore. Not in words, at least. This is monstrous. I'm a cipher! Come on! This is dumb. Whatever. You're afraid. Certain visitors make you afraid. He looks at you with uncertainty. Slowly, tentatively, he steps closer to the front of his cell, and as he does so, for the first time you can perceive his soul within your ken. It is mishappen, as though maimed by some jagged instrument, and large expanses of it have been gouged out entirely. You feel no barriers of resistance. If you wanted to, you could look further into Graham's soul, alright? You project out toward the main soul in front of you, merging with it, its confusion and fear becoming yours as it whisks you into its depths. You're not in your cell. A key turns. The door creaks opens on neglected hinges, though some to you in waves, incomplete, broken, fearful. Oh, no. Thoughts come to you in waves, incomplete, broken, and fearful. Standing at the door is a rotund, balding man. His upper teeth and pointy nose remind you of a rat. He beckons, unapologetic. You don't want to go. Anything else? In your mind, you don't want to go. Anything else? In your mind is a single word, and the word is no. But it dissolves before it reaches your lips. You press against the back wall, concerned. You cry out. In darkness, you fight against unseen restraints. You cannot move your arms or legs. The man walks into the room carrying a lit candle, its meager flame casting long shadows across books and machinery. Straps bind your arms and legs. Cold metal circumscribes the crown of your head and the breadth of your chest. The man is sorry. He's in need of raw materials. They dismantled his work, and he needs another source. He needs to show them he was right. He thanks you. Then he turns the knob, and you feel yourself begin to crack from within, and you can feel pieces of you torn away, like having your insides chewed by a horde of rats, and you are screaming a scream you can barely hear. Another night, heavy footsteps outside your door, coming for you. You look through a slit in your door. The flesh giant, the artificial being, just outside, but facing left, facing the end of the hall. The boy there. The boy looks with interest at the giant, then collapses to the floor like a shed snakeskin. The giant convulses for a moment, then rights itself, turns away, and leaves. Decoupled from Graham's soul. Graham looks at you, still wide-eyed but somehow more present. He nods at you, then walks back to the end of his cell.
These poor people. This isn't the treatment that they were promised upstairs by the cushioned seats and lush carpets. Is that the cure for soul sickness? To be thrown into a cell and subjected to the whims of your captor?
These animasters are as mad as their patients. But if all were treated were like this, the sanitarium would never survive. What did these patients do to warrant such conditions? To resolve that aren't met. Here's the source of all that knowledge you were so giddy about. Kinda grimaces. It is one thing to be told as much, another to see it yourself. Let's be on our way. This place gnaws the soul. Yes. We have one less thing to do, though. Quick save. Bam. And bam, there we go. Iskrim. A willowy adolescent boy stands in the center of his cell. Gawkish and stoop-shouldered, he stares straight ahead, the occasional blink his only movement, and it is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind his glassy, doll-like eyes. In this state, the barriers between your soul and his are thin and porous, easily bypassed should you wish it. Alright. Close your eyes and edge forward toward the boy's soul, and as you near, a sudden malaise comes over you. You are cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering and straining for breath, as you did on the caravan journey. The soul you approach is the wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless, and you have crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to retract, and already you feel yourself plunging into some interminable abyss of thought and memory. You are standing in a cell now, the same cell in the sanitarium. The halls are moonlit and empty, and you are waiting. At the far end of the ward, the door opens, revealing a flesh golem in the silhouette beneath the stone archway. It makes its usual rounds, the same stops every time. The misbegotten child of despondent creators. When the construct is close, you coil yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though it were a membrane. You can sense his body behind the collapse. You can sense his body behind you collapsing on to the floor, a puppet whose strings are cut. You are rushing toward the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly, you think to yourself, quickly, and you feel the strength hemorrhaging from your soul as you dart towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem's shell to overtake the soul implanted within, encircling it, suppressing it, and contained in this new vessel, you are strong again. You step heavy-footed down corridors unheeded by the other constructs and scrutinized only by the wary, untrustworthy eyes of the mad, coming at last to an office piled with books and scribbled papers and the perverse implements of animancy. You set your oversized hands upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the center of the room, and go to work, bending wires and unsettling alignments. Your surroundings are pulled past you, or perhaps they are pulled past them, and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into place again, you are outside on a clear day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you on the tiered seats of an amphitheater. You are acting for the crowd, standing deliberately still, but this is no play. A balding man with rodent-like features is strapping you to a machine, the one you had tampered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably those of a little girl, but this body is not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, as the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and vacuous. Unlike the others, this one has no soul of its own. The man speaks and the crowd applauds with an enthusiasm worthy of a hero's entrance. "Bear witness," he says, and he pulls the lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and a bead of sweat rolls down the side of the man's brow, but the crowd's apprehension quickly gives way to awe as a crystal globe fills with a radiant mist that casts the entire theater aglow. He opens the valve, and the glow crawls through a tube along a length of copper wiring that runs to a set of electrodes beneath your armpits. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should be, for you have been leading his work astray periodically for some time, altering notes and settings and playing puppeteer for Hollowborn. But you make it look how people would expect it to when a body is infused with a soul. In a moment, the machine goes dark, and the man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks back up at the crowd. "Behold," he says, but there is an obvious hesitation in his voice. Slowly you take a plodding step forward, then another, and another. You look up at the man, giving him the eye contact of which no Hollowborn is capable, and the crowd gasps. The man looks relieved. "How do you feel?" he asks, at a volume meant for the crowd. "How do you feel?" Yeah. And this is the moment. At the top of your lungs, you let out a piercing shriek. The man comes towards you, his hands outstretched, but you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength, you drive your head into the crystal globe, and it shatters, streaking your head with warm blood. You drive your head down onto the surface of the machine again and again, drawing panic screams from the crowd, and by the time the man reaches you, your body has already ceased proper function and merely twitches on the cold ground. Satisfied, you depart the corpse in search of another unsuspecting host. Who could put their faith in animancy now? You were pulled again from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memories and lifetimes, deeper and deeper past betrayals and murders and lies lies upon lies that form the thick webbing of plots beyond mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room that you have seen before, expansive with a tall device encasing an Adra monolith at its center. The room is filled with people, and the people all look at the device. You are yanked suddenly back to reality, and the once catatonic boy in the cell is looking directly at you, appraising, calculating. There is no mistaking now that it is the soul of the man who caused your awakening that gazes out from the borrowed husk. A watcher. That device in the dream there seems to be the same one we had in the very beginning of the game. So we found him. You made me into a watcher. I need you to undo it. Is that so? He makes no effort to hide his disinterest, but he continues to search your eyes. He makes a slight grunting noise, and his eyes soften for an instant, and it seems, for that moment, that he recognizes you. He opens his mouth to speak, then seems to think better of what he was about to say. His jaw tightens. I know your look. You hunger. Hunger for answers that elude you. It gnaws at your soul. It usurps your reasoning for being. You are like everyone. I will help you let go. He dodges backward with startling grace, putting himself out of reach. On his face, there is no malice, only wait. There's no malice, only the dispassion of a farmer putting down a sick animal. Then, suddenly, he slumps forward. Oh boy. What is going on? Okay. Let's get going into this, eh?
What is it?
Aye?
I'll get your slicking out there.
Well?
Aye?
Okay, now you need to back up.
Hey.
Right, he's dead. Crazed patient. Oh boy. What does that do? Oh yeah. Let's eat it, right? Yeah. Soul ignition on you. Alright, we're gonna get some damage on us.
That's not.
Oh. What are you doing? Oh, you're a fool.
Yes.
I'm using my dual weapons, my dual wields. Alright, we're gonna have Alaf get retreated because he's just gonna get destroyed. Actually, wait. No, I don't think he will be. Okay, never mind. You attack him.
Yes?
You attack him. Actually, let's throw this out.
Yes.
You need to use this. You see if you can activate secret horrors on these guys.
On your word.
Where's he?
Yes.
Okay, he's right here. Flesh construct.
Aye?
Oh,
Hey.
what are you doing, Eater? Get back over here.
How may I help?
Throw your spells into the fray, buddy. Okay. What's that 0-0 doing there? Alright, I killed that one.
Aye?
Following your lead.
Back to, let's see if we can attack that. Okay.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
Yes? Indeed.
Nice. Oh, that was close. Where'd he go, though?
I'll take care of it.
Chains grown with added weight. Crescent bite marks pit the edges of the cot. Look at reels of offal. What's this? Scroll of Nature's Mark. And lots of gold. What happened? I uncovered the leading key operative, and he has the ability to possess those with weak souls, and he was using one of the patients to influence Cadmian Azos animancy research. Everyone in melee range. It's actually not that bad having a melee.
Of course.
Whoa. Whoa, what the heck? What happened to them all?
On your word.
How may I help?
My mind is sharp. Fisted.
Well, as you wish.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take care of it.
Hey. Whoa, this sword is like on fire. Like with purple.
Well,
It's kind of neat looking. And then it turns red, or when not fighting.
as you
We need to get down here. What have you done? You've been experimenting on patients against their will, mangling their souls. I've witnessed it with my own eyes. Azo's face drains of what little color it had. How could you possibly? Look, it had to be done. Thelmore and the others, they took everything from me. Everything when I was this close. I had to know. Had to know where I failed and why. Imagine the value if I had succeeded. I had something that could make all those hollow infants into something like a real person. And with a few more patrons and a few years of research, who knows? No one has come that close with the legacy. That's why it's why I have to continue. Why I have to risk everything here, working in secret. It's why you have to lie to Thelmore for me. Tell him you've cleared me of all suspicion. I'm not the one to deal out judgment on death. He'll have to live with it. I'm going to expose you for what you are.
Then I can't let you get in my way either.
Yeah, No, he's not. He's gonna give me a choice then.
Where
And I have no problem with that. Bezos research journal. I'm close to a breakthrough. I have found an ample source of essence now, and the vessels have responded positively to infusion with the proxy. Human trials are the next logical course. Northward patient record. Graham. Subject is a male, approximately early 30s. Power of speech absent, presumably as a result of overfragmentation of his soul. As such, he is the ideal subject for present research. However, the experimentation has caused severe pain and induced panic, and I have had to enlist the aid of the guards in transporting him for more recent procedures. Okay, how much money? I like how there's all this screaming in the background still, but whoa. There's still like nothing going on. In a corner of Modred's lab rests a large weathered trunk. It seems likely to contain something important, if only by virtue of its size. Open the trunk. A heavy lock holds the trunk shut. It's too sturdy to break, and the mechanism looks too complicated to pick. You'll need to find the key. Examine the trunk. Nothing grabs your attention except for the large padlock on the front. Whatever the Animancer keeps in here, he does not want anyone else to have it or see it. Interesting.
Good day to you.
What are you working on? Witches. It's a witch. A Hullborn who received a transplanted animal soul during infancy. One of the Animancy's early efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. He removes his spectacles and wipes his brow. They show signs of developmental abnormalities through their childhood, but when they reach adolescence, they become aggressive, feral, but still victims in need of care. Transplanting animal souls into children seems like an odd solution. We, Animancers, were trying to do something about the crisis, better than letting it swallow a generation of children. He stares at a fixed point on the far wall, and despite the controversy, it only went so far because at first it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seemed aware of their surroundings, of their families. He takes a slow breath. The complications don't begin until puberty. But that's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous. But we paid dearly for our mistake, I promise you. Angry mobs hunted down Animancers and burned down their homes, with them still inside, often as not. The grieving mother recoils. A grotesque manipulation, a desperate solution for a desperate problem. The parents were heartbroken, betrayed. She closes her eyes and seems to recede from you for a moment. But it was important to try something, was it not? To bring hope, even for a little while. People took it to calling the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for it. But we wanted to stop the legacy as much as anyone. The public begged for our help, and we did the best we could. I still don't know if that absolves us. I see. Do you even realize what's going on? Or what has happened? Apparently not. But I think that'll be the end of this episode. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time.